I sleep on my front.
Do you?
I love sleeping on my front.
How?
Like on my front like this and then my head to the side.
That's how your hair always looks so good.
Yeah.
That's basically what you've got to do, everyone. Just sleep on your
on your front.
Sleep on your front.
Or your side.
Or your side.
Yeah.
Just never on your back.
Never.
Never.
I can't.
Wait for this light to turn on. It's fine, don't worry about it. I'm Clara Hermit. This is In Bed with Clara, and joining me in the bed today, she's a musician, she's an influencer, an all-round fly girl who loves to travel. It's the one, the only, Paigey Cakey.
It's Paigey Cakey.
Woo! Were you doing your own little ad-libs there?
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's Paigey Cakey.
Like the record's got a bit stuck.
Yeah, like,
How did you make that up? Because I always get fascinated with rappers when they have like their little noises.
Yeah.
Like, when did you first come across it?
So
And think
it's
that's going to be
mad.
my thing.
I didn't actually make that one up.
Right.
I was in studio with my friend Amani, this was years ago, and I was in the booth and she was like, it's Paigey Cakey. And I was like, oh my God, I love that. I was like, can you say that? So she said it and then the guy put an effect on it which made it sound like it's.
Yeah.
And then that just used to be like my little tag that I used to put on songs
I
at the
love it
beginning.
now. I think when you introduce yourself to people that have never met you before, that's how you should do it.
Yeah.
Just see what looks you get.
It's Paigey Cakey. What?
Do you reckon you get a few strange looks?
Of course, yeah.
Paige, if you're having a shit day,
Yeah.
how do you make yourself feel better?
Eat shit food.
Do you?
No, I'm joking. If I'm having like a really bad day and I actually don't care, then yeah, eat shit food. If I'm having a bad day and I want to make myself feel better, I'll go to the gym or listen to music, like uplifting music, or talk to a friend. I won't tell them what's going on, I'll just talk to someone that makes me laugh.
Right, okay. So
Yeah.
you're not that kind of person that like shares what's going on?
No, it takes a lot for anyone to even get through to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that hard though? Because we all experience like tough stuff in life and like emotions. Do you have someone now that you can talk to?
Yeah, my partner.
Yeah.
But before my partner, I kept everything in. But with my partner, I tell her everything.
How did that work out for you though? That must have been really hard if you kept everything in.
Yeah, it was, but it's just I hate telling people my downfalls. I hate letting people know when I'm taking L's. So I keep everything in and then something so little will trigger me and then everything just comes out. Like word vomit.
Why is that? Because I think all of us have ups and downs and highs and lows and stuff goes wrong. Is that just always the way you've been where you're like, I'm not going to share this with anyone?
I think it's just fear of being judged. I get stuck in my own ways in my head.
Do you think social media makes that worse? Because there's like an expectation, or like being in the public eye makes that worse?
1,000,000%. I feel like if I told people really what I was going through, they'd be like, you can't though because you're Paigey Cakey and you have this amount of money and you do this and you do that, but you don't actually know what's going on behind closed doors, so I just put on a brave face.
Yeah, and also, just to put it out there, that having money, I think, makes life easier, but it doesn't mean that you don't go through hard and shit stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because it means your bills are higher. Your outgoings are higher.
There's a pressure there.
Yeah.
Live within your means. It's not always easy. The first question I was going to write today was, can I talk about your nipples?
Yeah.
And the reason that I wanted to say that is because...
They're always on show.
No, but mine are as well, right?
Yeah.
Because since I had the mastectomy, I find it really uncomfortable to wear a bra. Like, it's just not comfortable for me. I did a video the other day and I didn't even think about it. I just had a white vest on, like did this video, and then up they come in the comments. Like, someone has to like comment on your nipples. How does that make you feel? Like, does it annoy you, or you're just over it?
I don't really care. If I'm wearing a crop top, I never wear a bra. I always have my nipples out. I'm the girl that's on Instagram with her nipples out all the time. More time, I just do it because I know people want to see it. It's just like, oh, you know, I'm just going to put a picture up where I've got my nipples out on a bikini, showing all my breasts because I know people want to see it. You know, it gets the likes, it gets everyone viewing, it gets my insights going up. Like, it makes sense, but it's...
Your nipples need their own page. Paige's nipples.
It's like, I know what I'm doing. I just put it out and just see all the like thirsty comments. The only thing that annoys me is when people talk about the size of my nipples or the fact that my breasts are not level.
Who's got two perfectly sized boobs?
Mine are not perfectly sized. And people always comment on that, and that's just annoying because I'm just like, this is me. And people just say stupid things like, fix your breast, or it's just like, oh, here we go. But the nipples, I actually don't care if anyone comments on them because I know I have really beautiful, banging nipples.
She's got great areolas, everybody. So she's putting them out there. They do need their own page. If you were a guy and you were there topless, no one's going to care.
Yeah, no one says nothing. No one says anything about topless men. Nobody cares.
Exactly. But if you're a woman, you're not even topless. You're just
getting
comfortable.
Judged, 24/7 about your nipples and what they can see, and you're a slut. I get that one sometimes as well, that I'm a slut.
What, because people
because
can see
I don't
your
have
nipples?
a bra on. Or people say, why don't you wear a bloody bra?
Because I don't want to.
I don't want to, and I find it so comfortable not wearing a bra.
I don't want to wear a bra, and I'm not going to wear one. That's why I'm not wearing a bra. It's not that hard, is it?
It's not at all.
But it's crazy how people think that they can tell you what you should do.
Yeah.
And also, I think that's another thing as well. Where do people get the idea that women have 2 equal-sized boobs from?
I don't know. But I there was a time when I thought maybe I was different. And I went on Google and I feel like literally 99% of women breasts, one is bigger than the other. In fact, the one on the left side is usually bigger because of your heart, apparently. This is what Google said.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, loads of people with one boob bigger than the other. Mine are just lumps of cold silicone now with a little bit of skin over the top, so it's not quite the same. But I just think it's that kind of like constant commentary on women's bodies.
Yeah, every day.
And your choices. But you've obviously got to that point now where you're like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. I used to care, but I don't care anymore.
And you have great nipples, so you keep putting them out
Thank
there.
you.
A great way to start this interview, I thought. So obviously it's only some men, but it's predominantly men who feel like the need to say something like sexualised about women's bodies. Because I would say, like, your pictures, a lot of them, where you can see your nipples, you're just wearing like cargo pants and a vest.
It's not even that I'm in a bikini, a whole bikini. I'm lit, yeah.
Or like posing provocatively or anything. Just like, hi, this is my outfit for
Yeah.
today. And then someone's in the comments like, cool, look at them nipples or whatever.
Love to suck them tits. Like, that's the comment. I don't delete the comments neither. So you can go on my pictures and scroll down and read all of them.
Why do you think they need to do that?
I don't know. And more time when I click on these people's profiles, they're either on private or they have like a photo up, like an Adidas logo, for example, or no picture or picture of money. Like, you never actually see what they look like, or far away photo. So I don't even know who these people are. It's just someone really like strange.
As well, like whenever I've tried to challenge people on this, people are like, it's nature. It's because it's natural for men to be turned on by breasts. That's my man voice. But the thing is, if you go to like different parts of the world where you've got tribes where the women are topless all the time.
They're out 24/7, their breasts are out.
And the men don't care.
No one cares, yeah, it's
so
true.
it can't be nature, it has to be programming.
And where it's like, as you said, social media. It's just what we see on TV, everything, women are sexualised on TV. So men feel like they can say what they want. It's a free country, you can say what you want, but yeah, they just feel like they can say a lot.
But we're going to keep doing what we want and get our nipples
course.
out. And I tell them off in the comments and then they're like, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it like that, Clara. I was just joking. It's not funny. Jokes are supposed to be funny. You look like you're kind of incredibly comfortable with your body.
Yeah.
Have you always felt like that?
No, I haven't been comfortable in my body forever. I'm still going through a stage right now where I want to get a breast reduction because I feel like my breasts are quite heavy and I'm quite sporty. And when I go gym, I look at all the women in the gym and I'm like, oh my God, I have the biggest breasts in the gym. Apart from the bigger girls, but I feel like I come in the class of the smaller girls. So I'm like, why are my breasts so big? But obviously it runs from my family line, like my dad's family. But that's just the one thing that right now I'm still 50-50 wanting to get a breast reduction. Just because I feel like they're just a bit too big for my size.
It's strange, isn't it? Because normally I think when people are thinking of having surgery, I know there are lots of people who have had breast reduction. I'm trying to think in my head. Emma Guns, she's got a really great podcast. She had a breast reduction. She said it's the best thing she's ever done.
Yeah.
Like, changed her life. A lot of the times it's people getting stuff made big, like their bums bigger or their boobs bigger. I guess as a way of like fitting the beauty aesthetic. Yeah. But you're talking about it from a completely
I'm not
different
trying
place.
to fit the beauty aesthetic.
Yeah.
I'm already the beauty aesthetic. Like, that's just me being confident. Like, I'm her, but I want to do what I want to do and what makes me comfortable. So while everyone's going that route, I just want to do something that makes me feel happy. Less back pains, better for my health. In fact, I had the appointment booked for next month and I'm just a bit worried.
Yeah.
I feel like I just need to think about it more before I really go through with it.
Yeah, that's the best approach because I think when you're sure, then do it. But don't do it before then, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're being like really sensible about it, like you're thinking about your options and what's best for you. Have you spoken to someone who's had it done?
I've spoken to a few people. I wrote it on my Snapchat and loads of people were telling me. But then this is the thing, when I wrote on Snapchat, so many people were like, don't do it, people will kill for boobs like you, and I'm not entertaining them ones, I'm entertaining the people that are like, yeah, I had it done last month, I feel so much better. They're the people I want to talk to, not the people that are saying don't do it.
Probably the ones in the comments.
Or the people saying, oh, I'll unfollow you if you do
tits.
it. And I don't care, unfollow me. If you're just here for tits, bye.
When I had the mastectomy done, with my YouTube videos, everyone's comments started being like, show before they go, and like, no boobs, no views. That was what they were saying to me.
Mad.
And I was having my boobs removed because I've got a cancer-causing gene mutation.
Yeah.
People still think that they can comment on your body like that and it's not going to have an impact on you.
That's mad, yeah.
It's horrible.
It's quite sad that people even think like that.
Imagine if, there was like a guy who has had to have like their testicle removed or something.
Yeah.
Imagine all of us being like, no balls, no... Trying to think of something that rhymes. No balls, no calls. That's the only thing I can do. But it just would never happen, would it?
Yeah, it wouldn't. No, I feel like we're just cut different. Women are cut from a different cloth. Sorry, guys, all the guys in here.
You've dated men and women.
Yeah.
Were you ever nervous about sharing that publicly?
At the beginning, yeah, I was nervous about coming out and saying that I'm dating women because I just thought, everyone's going to have something to say, including my family, because my family didn't know. And I was also just thinking, this might mean people don't want to, like, engage in what I put out anymore because they might be like, oh, she's gay. So I was quite iffy at the beginning because a part of me thought, this might be the end of me. Like, everyone might just unfollow me. Not like unfollow me on socials, but unfollow me in life and be like, she's gay, we don't want to follow her anymore. But it didn't actually turn out like that. It went a totally different way. I think it went a really good way.
Become an icon.
Yeah, I feel like I've opened doors now for the younger generation that are in the same boat as me.
It's one of those things, isn't it, where it's like facing that fear.
Yeah.
And like you're almost like you say, it's like I'm on the edge of a cliff and I'm either going to jump and fall or I'm going to jump and fly.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that what got you to that point? Like you just were like, no, I want to live my truth, or?
I want to live my truth, and I just felt like I was carrying around like baggage and it was just horrible, and every day I felt like I was living a lie. And I didn't like it, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to come out. I'm going to tell everyone. You
got like a really strong positive reaction.
Yeah.
Was there any like negative stuff?
Yeah, there was just like the comments like what a waste of a woman. Like, to be honest, I still get messages like that, but it's always, I'm wasting like my assets, like my tits or my vagina.
So a man can't have you?
Yeah, basically, because a man can't have me, I'm a waste, basically. But I'm like, but a woman can indulge in this, yeah. And just, yeah, like I'm a dyke, I'm gay, I'm lesbian, I'm a fat piece of lesbian shit. Like, stupid comments that don't even make sense.
All of the great
I literally
lyricists out there.
Yeah, I just look at them and I think, oh, great. I don't really care, to be honest.
I guess you got to that point though, when you were ready, where it's like none of this is going to affect me. Like if it was like deeper from like your family or people that you cared about, that would be different. But I guess like from strangers on the internet,
it actually takes a lot to get to me nowadays. Like I do not care at all.
You've built that.
Yeah, back in the day I'd be crying my eyes out over just one comment. I see it as there's 99% positive comments. There's only 1% bad comment, really. So I don't really care.
What's fascinating to me is you're wasted. That kind of like, you're wasted on women. Like I was talking to someone about this, it's like, I get it when I put up about being single. Ruined my only purpose for existing. Like I haven't fulfilled it because I haven't had kids. So it's like,
that's silly. Like everyone's different. Everyone wants different things out of life as well. I just hate all this, the judgy mentality. I hate that so much. That's one thing I hate about social media. I feel like it's such a dark, evil place.
Where it's really judgmental.
Yeah.
Do you feel like at the moment there's a bit of a narrative as well, like men versus women?
Kind of, but I only really feel that energy when I go on like gossip pages.
Yeah.
I see that in the comments or whatever's been put up. It's always like double standards, like in the comments, like people saying, yeah, but a man can do this, but like on my own page, no, I don't feel like it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you step outside of that, it can be a dangerous space. The internet, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, I think. When it comes to dating men and women, do you have a preference?
I prefer to date women. I'm a woman, so if I date someone of the same, they understand me more. So like me and my partner have this thing, we understand each other's bodies. We know what needs we need. We know what needs we need when we're on our period, for example. What we like in the bedroom, how we like it done, because we have the same body parts. And that's why, personally, I like to be with a woman, and I feel like women have a better touch. That's just my opinion.
It's not the first time that I've heard it.
Yeah, like just women have like they're just more gentle, more loving.
More attentive.
Oh, yeah, I feel like there are men like that, but not the men that I dated when I was younger. They didn't care. But there are men out there that are like that as well, but yeah.
And I hope that, that men will, not, obviously you said it's not all men, but some men that will maybe like listen to something like this and they'll learn that, it's not just about the...
No, it's not.
When it comes to sex, there's so much more to it, especially with like the female body, because it's so different to a man's body, isn't it? Do you think as well, like when it comes to like emotions and kind of being able to speak to each other, because I guess like I'm quite emotional and quite sensitive, so I don't know how it would work if I was in a relationship with someone else who was also quite emotional and quite sensitive.
That's the relationship that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
We're both really emotional and really sensitive.
Does that work?
It works so good. I didn't think it was going to work, but I think it works because there's a balance. It's like we're never the same at the same time.
Right, okay.
it's like we take our turns to be emotional and sensitive. So when one of us is down here, the other one's up here, bringing the other one up. So it works so well.
Yeah, you look super happy.
Yeah.
And I know that you share your relationship quite openly online. Are there any downsides to that?
Negative comments from weirdos. That is it, to be honest. Other than that, I feel like we get a really positive reaction from everything we put online.
Yeah.
It's just a handful of people that just chat shit.
Do you get any weirdos sliding into the DMs?
Yeah, sending like nude photos and stuff every day.
Dick pics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stuff like this. Don't
Is
you
it
want
only
this?
men that do that?
Yeah, women have never done that. I get like women commenting saying, hey, you ever thought about leaving your girl for me? Like, just...
Wow, okay.
Yeah, like, yeah, just
shooting my shot.
I think women are pretty like straight to the point in this community. They're just like, yeah, pay. Like, guys just send nudes. I've never had a nude from a woman.
Just shows, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When it comes to nudes, do they ever include their faces? These men?
Never. It's always a hand holding their dick.
What is it that men actually think we're going to do with that?
I don't know. I actually find it disgusting.
Yeah.
It's a big fat cringe and it's a big fat no. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
I absolutely feel the same. You know what it is? Is like, I think when it comes to penises, to find a penis attractive, I have to find the whole person attractive.
Yeah, of course. Like, I think that a picture would be so much more attractive if it was a man naked with his six pack and he's like this.
Yeah, don't tell him that.
I don't want to see that, but I'm just saying that'd be a lot more attractive than just this. That's all I get, just that little square photo.
Yeah, but they're probably not going to include their face because then you could post it up and be like, look at this person in my inbox. And also, sometimes I think there are certain people who it turns them on to know that you might be repulsed.
Everyone's got a different fetish, and that is probably someone's.
But just don't send them to me or Paige. We're over it, please. Thank you very much. When it comes to dating and finding a partner, because you guys seem super happy, by the way, very cute. I can imagine there's lots of people who are out there thinking, see what Paige has got, like, I want that. What advice would you give to people who are looking for, like, love?
I always say don't look for love, love will find you. Like, I've never gone looking for love. It always just lands on my lap.
Literally?
Yeah, literally. It landed in my arms, like it landed as a hug at a skating event. Yeah.
Really?
That was never meant to happen, no.
Did you just feel a chemistry or a connection? What happened?
How we met was I went on Snapchat one day and I said I want to learn roller skating.
Yeah.
Who's the best? And then people wrote in the comments underneath, and the first person that wrote, it said @Rihanna Lintz. So obviously I copied that, pasted it into Instagram, saw this girl. She was already following me and I thought, let me just follow her back. So I followed her back. I thought she was dope. So I put one of her videos up on my story. Like, that was just me hinting like, hi, can you teach me how to skate? I put it up and I was like, this girl is dope. Then I went to message her. I clicked message. She'd already messaged me like 2 months ago saying, hey, like, I'd love to teach you to skate, something. And then I messaged her and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just saw this. I was like, I'd love to learn how to skate. Someone recommended you. And she was like, yeah, what are you doing today? You want to come Hyde Park? And I was like, today? I was like, I don't know you. I didn't write that, but I was like, today. So I was like, I can't come today, I'm busy. I wasn't busy, I was at home doing absolutely nothing. And then the next day she'd message me like, morning, want to come today? We're going to be in Bethnal Green. I'm like, can't come today, I'm busy. I wasn't busy any of these days. I just felt nervous to go and meet someone I didn't know to skate. It just felt a bit weird. Even though I wanted to do it, it was far out of my comfort zone. So I got invited to a skating event. I went with my boy, and when we got there, I saw a girl in the middle skating, like doing the splits and doing all these things. And I was like, wow, she's cool. And then she came over and she's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, hi. And I gave her a hug. And she was like, you didn't tell me you was coming. And it was her.
Wow.
And then that whole night, I left my boy to skate around with her the whole night. And and the whole night we were skating. I was like, I feel like I know you. I feel like I've known you my whole life.
That's so cute.
And she kept saying the same thing. And I was really wave. She doesn't drink. So she was sober and I thought she was drunk as well. And then, when I left, I went to message her, like, what a great vibe. And she was doing the same thing at the same time. So, it was just meant to be.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so cute. So your best advice is stop looking for it.
Yeah,
but
it just comes.
But how do you do that if it's something that you want?
Be social. Go out to places. I say, like, be open-minded and just be open. But I always feel like if you want to find someone, it's nice to find someone in person. I'm not against dating apps, but I do watch a lot of documentaries and I've seen a few Tinder horrors.
Tinder swindler?
Yeah, I've seen a few documentaries and I'm like, oh. So I just feel like just go out, innit? Meet people face to face, because that's one thing we don't really do much.
Yeah.
We always do things on the net and on the internet, and I feel like it's nice when you can meet someone and actually talk to somebody without the phone.
And sense their energy as well.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, isn't it? Like that connection.
It's not about looks at all. It's about what do you have in common? Do you even like the same music? Like I always say I can't date someone that don't like the same music as me.
Yeah. Would you say you have preferences? Because I, like you just said, it's not about looks. And I find that really interesting because a lot of people will be like, oh, they have to look like this, they have to have this colour hair, they have to have this, they have to have that, they have to be this height, they have to do this, they have to do that.
I would never find a perfect person if that's what I was after.
Right, but actually sometimes people will say all of that stuff and then when you see the person they end up with, don't look nothing like that.
For me, it's what's on the inside. Obviously, looks do play a part. Like, you have to be physically attracted to somebody. Like, it's impossible to be like, oh, no, I don't care about looks at all. When I say I don't care about looks, I don't have a type on the outside. My type is what's on the inside. Like, what are your morals? Are you a family person? Do you like to cook? Like, do you listen to music? Like, what do you do in your spare time? That's what I'm attracted to. And obviously, if you're pretty on the outside, then it's a plus.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, bonus.
If you're pretty on the outside, we like it. How did you learn about sex?
I learned about sex because I saw my mum having sex when I was really young. Yeah, I looked through the keyhole. She was like a handyman. I don't know why I'm saying she was. She's a handyman. Right. She made a lock and obviously you just put the key in, but it still had like the keyhole. Oh. So like I remember looking through and I watched her having sex when I was probably like 7, 8. Yeah.
She knows now.
Yeah.
Did you, but at that time, you probably didn't know what it was though, did you?
I don't know how I knew what these things were, but also my dad had me watching 15 rated films when I was really young. So it might not have people having sex in it, but it was like...
The love
there
scenes.
was just like, yeah, those sort of scenes. So it's like I knew what sex was before I knew what sex was.
Yeah.
So I knew that's what it was, and I knew by the sounds, like just naturally I feel like I knew.
Did you ever learn anything at school about sex?
Secondary school, we actually had a... I don't know what you called it. It was like we actually had like a clinic in our school.
Did you?
No, it wasn't a clinic where you go and get checked out. It's a clinic that you go to like to ask questions, and they had all these little books, these little booklets.
Yeah.
And they were about like periods, your vagina. Like I even found out about like femdoms. Do you even know about those things?
Yeah, the female condom.
Yeah, like so many people don't know about these things, and it's like we learn about all of this when we was in year 7, all the way up to year 11.
Well, because you could go and pick up these little booklets.
Yeah, but obviously because we was young and immature, we'd go and pick it up and be laughing like, hey, oh my God, look at her pussy. But it was funny for us, innit? Yeah. But we learnt about it then, and then we started going at like lunchtime, and the woman would teach us about sex and how it takes place and how it's initiated and what the man's penis does and how it stands up and all of these things.
Do you think having that information was a good thing?
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it was a good thing because it teaches you the safety behind sex, as in like to stay protected, and you know there's condoms and all these other things on the shelf that you can use to make sure you don't catch anything or get pregnant. But at the same time, it also made people think, oh my God, I want to go home. And plus they were giving out condoms. We was 13. So I feel like you're just egging it on in a way, you know. You could go in there and pick them up. They had all these boxes. You could pick up everything. I picked up condoms just to open them and blow them up. But
balloons. Like from my experience of school, the people that were having sex were going to have sex. Like
yeah, you couldn't stop them, and you knew who them people were as well.
Yeah.
It was the girls that had their shirts like really low with double bras on. The short, was this you? The short skirt, the big earrings, because we could wear like jewellery in our school.
Yeah.
Like the big hoops. And then there was the me's. My collar all the way up to the top button, my jumper on, long trousers,
I had to
kickers.
tie it, mine. The blazer. It's horrible. Horrible school uniform.
And where was your skirt?
I did roll my skirt.
Did you roll it all the way up?
I was really chubby at school as well. I was not one of the cool kids. I used to go and spend most of my break times in an empty classroom putting together small drama skits to perform in history lesson.
No.
Probably the sexiest thing about me. It's like, today I'm going to be a Tudor. Or a Roman. That was like most of my school experience.
Yeah.
If you're going to have sex, you're going to have sex.
Yeah.
It's better to be armed with the tools and the information.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't learn what about consent. I didn't know about saying no. I didn't learn I had a clitoris. I didn't know what that was. Like, I didn't learn about the different parts of like my vulva. I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So I started having sex not knowing anything because no one wanted to talk about it. A lot of times, all the focus, especially for girls, is on safe sex.
Yeah.
But we never learn about like what's good or pleasurable.
I was going to say that. I feel like when you have sex when you're younger, you don't know what is pleasurable. You don't really do anything for the lead up. It's just go straight in.
go, off you go.
Yeah.
And it's dry.
Start the
and
motor.
it's painful,
It's just, yeah.
and it's horrible because you don't learn about foreplay.
Yeah. So I feel like that is the worst. They were the worst experiences. I just used to do it because I thought this is what we have to do.
But it's so true because who teaches you it's not?
No one.
And everyone around you is kind of on the same level, like the same level of teaching. It's just like, as a woman, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I'd say a lot of women, straight women, are having terrible, mediocre, like bad sex. I think the statistic is like 60% of straight women are unsatisfied with their sex life.
That is mad.
It's not still now because it's not really surprising though, is it?
But I feel like you have to talk about what you want with your partner. And I feel like a lot of relationships, people don't actually tell their partners what they want. So therefore, it's always just going to be the same scenario. Sex is always going to be the same. And it's fun to spice it up as well. You've got to
It's fun to spice it up.
Yeah.
As well, at school, I don't know about you, but masturbation, always would talk about wanking.
Yeah.
But the girls would never talk about masturbation.
Oh,
And if they
no.
did, it was like, what's wrong with her? Put a hex on her. But if you don't do that self-exploration, how do you know?
Yeah, it's true. No one spoke about it. For girls, it wasn't cool, so no one said that they'd done it.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone was doing it, but no one was talking about it.
Some of my friends who like probably didn't start masturbating until they were in their 20s because they just didn't know.
Yeah. I feel like I was masturbating without realising what it actually was. Like, I thought masturbating was just a man's thing. I didn't really think what the title of it was for a woman, to be honest.
Yeah. I remember someone doing like loads of polls about like masturbation, like what age people were when they first masturbated or like what they used was like their teddy bear or a pillow or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think for like most girls, it's like, it's quite young, but the shame that's attached to it and the guilt, like can't tell anyone like what's wrong with me. Am I like a massive weirdo or like a pervert or whatever because I've masturbated? It's like, dun, dun, dun. Now I'm going to be like captured by the devil and put in hell kind of thing.
It's mad. It's so natural,
And
so
important.
normal, yeah. I feel like guys are always taught this, and when you watch like films like American Pie, for example, all these films you watch, there's always guys masturbating and stuff. You never really see women doing it, so it's quite taboo for women. We don't really know if we're allowed to do this or not.
You are allowed to do it. All women, you're allowed to
You're
masturbate.
allowed to masturbate.
It's good for you, and you should do it more. It's a good like stress relief, all
Yeah,
of that
it
stuff.
is. You
Isn't
feel
it?
good after.
Yeah, so just do it, everyone. Thank you. Glad we had this conversation. Does body count matter? Is it the same if you're in like a same-sex relationship? Would that conversation ever come up?
I don't know. We never speak about body count. I never really think about body count, but then I'm like, what is body count? Like, what do you class as body count? Like 400? 5, 15, 20? Like, what is...
2, 3?
Yeah, like, what is extreme and what isn't? I don't know.
Yeah.
In any, like, same-sex relationship I've been in, we've never really spoke about body count. Obviously, I'm like, oh, how many exes have we had? But it's not really a thing. It's not, oh, I'm going to leave you because you've been with X, Y, Z. We don't really care about that stuff.
I think it's because women don't really care about it, do they?
No.
I suppose there are some women who do care about, like, if they're with a guy, how many people he's been with.
Yeah.
Me personally, I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's how you're treating me now. That's
Yeah.
what matters. You are in, I guess, like a super male-dominated industry, and there can be like some lyrics that kind of like perpetuate those kind of like negative things about like body type or getting a CRB and all of that kind of stuff. Would anyone ever, like any of those people ever say anything like around you? Have you ever had to like say to people, stop talking like that about women or I'll slap you?
No, you know. I don't think I've ever been around anyone that said anything mad. I see it online, but no one's ever said it face to face.
Yeah.
I've never been around it, yeah.
Sometimes you think, here they go.
Yeah.
The eye roll. What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you in bed?
When I was young, I got caught in bed with a girl. It's not even when I was young, it was a few years ago, for fuck's sake. I don't even know what I'm saying when I was young. Yeah, I was in bed with a girl and someone walked in.
Who was it who walked in?
The mum. So we was just like, she walked in and walked out, and I thought, oh, this is so embarrassing. We was under the covers, but she's a big woman, she knows what was going on. She literally opened the door and closed the door, and it just ruined the whole thing, and we went to bed. I was not about to continue the vibe, absolutely not. I don't care how close I was. That was it, the vibe was done now, because what, she comes back. Yeah, she just didn't knock, and I don't know if she knew we was in the room, she just opened the door and went, oh, close the door.
Yeah.
And I just thought, oh, and that was so embarrassing. And then when I left the house, I felt so embarrassed. I left at like 6 in the morning.
So you didn't have to come face to face with
Yeah,
her?
because I know she wakes up at 7, so I thought, oh, I have to leave. Yeah, that is the most embarrassing thing that's happened.
Did you see her after that?
Yeah, like a few days later, and everything was all right. And I was just like, hi, mummy, you all right? Well,
Next time, knock.
yeah, Yeah,
This is awkward.
It was awkward.
A similar thing happened to me, so I know exactly how bad it is, but I was bent over a sofa completely butt naked.
Oh my God, where was this?
It was in the guy's apartment, but his mum had a key.
And you didn't know she was coming?
No way, she was coming to drop his laundry off, which is icky enough.
Oh God. And what did she say?
She screamed and then ran out.
Oh my God, that's like a film, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, things like that happened when I was younger. Not like that, but I got caught like with a boy on the stairs in a block. And one of the teachers from my school was coming over to do checks to make sure no one was in the block smoking.
She wasn't smoking, she was doing something else.
I wasn't smoking.
The teacher caught you?
Yep. And then he went back and this is so random, he told my PE teacher. I don't know what PE has to do with...
Well, it's physical education in a way.
So yeah, he went back and he told my PE teacher and then she had a word with me.
Right.
And she was like, what was you doing in the block? And I was just telling her.
I was doing some PE, miss.
Yeah, I was just a bit active in the block.
Getting the heart rate up.
Yeah, and I got caught. It was so awkward.
Just after I'd lost my virginity as well, the guy that I lost my virginity to, I think it was like literally the second time that we were having sex, one of his mates like walked in.
Oh my God.
That was just, I was like, oh, it's so horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, it makes you feel like, shit, it's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah. But the block's quite a public place.
It is. I don't know what we was thinking. We was outside people's doors on the stairs. Like, it was just stupid, but I was in secondary school, like year 11. I wasn't thinking what I was doing. I was just doing it.
Yeah.
I had a boyfriend, so...
Quite a high probability that someone could have walked in on you.
Yeah.
And found you.
I didn't think it was going to be a teacher. I thought it was just going to be a random person, like, get off the stairs. But no, it was a teacher.
Do you like having sex in public places? Because some people quite enjoy that.
I'm actually someone who don't, because I know it's the adrenaline, but I don't like the, what if we get caught? Like, I start overthinking it, and then it takes me longer to come because I'm too busy thinking about what's going on around me.
The stress.
Yeah. The most public for me has to be a car because my car's tinted, so you'd never know.
Yeah.
And I'm not stressed at all.
So you can just pull up somewhere, people could be walking past.
Yeah, no one would ever know.
You can see them, but they can't see you.
So that to me is fine, but I couldn't like just go in that corner over there because this is a public place and someone's going to walk past.
Yeah, we don't want that. If the cars are rocking, don't come knocking, everybody. Just to watch out for Paigey's car. What's the wildest thing that you've ever done?
Me and my ex-partner and one of my friends and her ex-partner, we booked a hotel. We had to dare each other. So it's like, say you was with your partner and I'm with my partner, I would dare you to do something with my partner, if that makes sense. So we was...
Swapping?
Yeah.
And then the other two
Well,
would be
me and my
watching.
friend didn't do nothing, but we were swapping each other's partners to do things and they were watching.
That's quite freaky.
But it wasn't like nothing mad. It was more just like dares, like sucking breasts and sexual things like that. Give her a lap dance and yeah.
But would you do that again, or was it just like a one-off thing for you? It was like, it was all right, but...
It was all right. I'd rather do it with, I don't know, maybe somebody else.
Strangers?
Yeah, because then you ain't got to see that person again. Maybe strangers on holiday.
That's the only way that I would probably have like a threesome.
Strangers on holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be like that, I think. Because
Otherwise-
I don't ever want to bump into someone. I don't want that story to go around and travel. It just needs to be strangers on holiday that don't really speak English.
It started off as strangers on holiday, and now they can't speak English either.
That's perfect for me.
How are you going to tell them what you like, though?
Translator.
Just point.
Like, you put it on the translator and you do this with your phone, and it says, do you want to get freaky? And then you give them the phone, then they write it, and they translate it to English, and I'm like, yeah, see.
No, but like, that's fine if that happens, but I'm talking about like mid-flow, you're just like, oh no, can you go a bit slower?
Like this, look.
And then you get Google Translate and it's like, and then it'll be like, yeah.
You can get the talking one as well.
Oh, perfect.
You can talk into it. So I can say it and it'll be like, no, yeah.
Computerized voice.
So yeah.
Can you touch me here?
Yeah, it'd have to be like that.
What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you in bed?
I don't even know if this is weird, but when I used to smoke weed, I had the longest orgasm ever. And I didn't think it was ever gonna end.
Well, that sounds like pretty good.
Yeah, but it was scary. It started off like, oh my God, like, I'm getting to the peak. And then the peak was there, but it wasn't stopping. But I think it's because I was so high. I don't know what happened, but something switched off in my body and it was going on. And then I started getting a bit like, I've seen them videos on YouTube of like the woman who has a permanent orgasm. And I was just thinking, I don't want to be that person. So yeah.
How long did it last?
Like minutes on end. Like minutes, like it felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't 10 minutes, but it lasted When I say it lasted, that feeling that you get when you're right at the end,
yeah.
that feeling was just flat like this.
Just flatlined?
Yeah.
Didn't come down again?
It didn't come down.
Wow.
And it started to scare me because even if it went on for a minute, I'd be like, oh my God, but it went on for like 5 minutes. It was great at the beginning, then it got a bit scary.
Who were you with?
My ex.
And then what did they do? I think they were like amazing. I'm such a great sex expert. Look what I've managed to do. She felt sick, but she was also high as well. We was just floating that day. Literally.
It was just high sex.
But imagine she can now go around and be like, I gave someone like a 10-minute orgasm.
Yeah, it was mad. That's never happened again.
No.
I don't think it's because it was amazing, because it wasn't. I honestly think it was the drugs.
Yeah.
Literally the weed.
Would you want that? I don't know if I'd want a 10-minute orgasm. I'd be like,
no,
I've got stuff to do, like trying to hoover.
Never, ever, no.
What's the worst sexual experience that you've ever had?
I fell asleep while I was getting head.
Was it that bad?
I just wasn't here for it. I was just like, we just come back from a club and I was so tired. I didn't even want this. It was quite forced.
Right, okay.
But the other person was adamant, like it was now or never. And I was just not here for it.
You start snoring?
And my eyes were doing this. And she's like, you're falling asleep. I was like, no, I'm not. And then, I fell asleep.
How did that go?
And she was so embarrassed. She woke me up and I was like, sorry. I was like, I'm so tired. But if it was really good, I wouldn't have fallen asleep.
So it just wasn't that great?
Yeah, it was, no.
You've fallen asleep while getting head and had a 10-minute orgasm. These are pretty good things, you know? Like, really, pretty good ways to go out. What is your best advice for being good in bed?
Be fun. I make a whole, vibe. When I say we make a whole vibe, we light candles. My girl might put on something really sexy. She'll put it on under her pajamas, so I think that we're just going to bed. She'll be like, I'm just gonna go brush my teeth, and then she comes in and she's already got the remote in her hand, so she plays the music. You know, we just create a whole vibe, and I feel like that keeps the fire alive. Get kinky, get some dice, roll the dice. The dice will tell you what room you're gonna go to, or what position you're gonna do, you know. Get some toys, toys are fun. Get a blindfold.
Have a little kit.
Yeah, have a little kit, it makes it fun.
And I think that's the best way to do it. Sex isn't just about the sex, is it? It's about
it's
kind of like the lead up, the
the
foreplay,
lead up, the foreplay, the
effort.
connection. It's a whole package. It's not just about coming and then putting your clothes on and leaving. I don't want to feel horrible after. I want to feel like, oh my God, I love this so much.
Yeah, and have that kind of intimacy afterwards as well.
Even some tears at the end, because it was so emotional.
I love that.
Yeah.
I get so emotional, baby. I've cried a couple of times during sex, happy tears.
Yeah. It's like, wow, this is so amazing. And it's also, wow, I love you so much.
You're so cute. She's so cute. Makes me happy. Speaking of the dice and positions, what's your favourite?
I like to be on the bottom, always. It's my favourite position ever.
What, as in missionary?
I just like to lay down flat.
Yeah.
That is my favourite, I like to be chilled with my hands like this.
Yeah.
Eye
contact?
Pretty always. Or my girl likes to put a blindfold on me and she'll do some sexy dances.
Well, not when you're blindfolded. You won't be able to see.
I can feel it.
Ah.
Yeah.
See?
I can feel it because my hands are like this at this point.
You're giving all
They're like here and they've gone here. So I'm feeling the waist.
You're giving all the ideas
to
people out there. Look at Patrice's face. She's involved. You're giving her ideas. She's thinking about what she's going to do next. And also, when it comes to sex toys, what are your go-tos? What do you think everyone should have in their, repertoire?
Definitely a bullet.
Yeah.
A high-powered bullet that has different functions. You can't just have the one that is just basic, and you need to have the one that's like zzz, and then zzz, and zzz. You need that one, and then it's got all the zzz in it. That one's great. Also, the bullet with the wire, because then your partner can have the wire.
Right.
Yeah. And she can, make it go how they want it to go. There's a toy that I want to invest in. It's the Bluetooth one.
So you can use it out?
Yeah, that's the one I want so bad. I always talk about it, but I just never buy it. But yeah, that one to me sounds very fun because you could be out and you can use it on your phone, on the app.
So
you ain't even got to be together.
Look at that sex toy. Look at her face over there.
You ain't even got to be together. You could be in different countries.
Is it an internal one or it's like a vibrator in your pants?
It's you can put it inside of you.
Yeah.
I think it's like a small, I think you can get different things. You can get a bunny, you can get a bullet.
And then you wear it and then your partner has the control on their phone. So you could be out for dinner.
Yeah.
You could be
and you just
anywhere.
Start,
if you see Paige and she starts going like that, having a 10-minute orgasm, you know what's going on.
So yeah, I want to buy that. But I want to buy it so I can be the person in charge.
Are you quite like that? Like you're the person in control,
I like
or
to
you take it in turns?
We take turns. Who's in control. I don't want to be full submissive and I don't want to be full dominatrix, like that person. I want to be right in the middle and do both.
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Lovely, jubbly. What's your favourite body part?
Mine is my breast. They're round and they're pure and they're
They're there.
they're there.
They're bloody there. Do you have a name for them?
No, are they supposed to have a name?
No, I don't know. It's just sometimes people have names for their
No,
favourite body
I actually
parts.
don't have a name for any body part.
Do you want to
Maybe
give it a name now?
Betsambu.
I feel like you thought about that before. Yeah.
I did it. It just came.
It's the lyricist in you that's just like popping out. Are you confident naked?
I never used to be confident naked. Now I'm confident naked. And I think it was just because I fluctuate in weight a lot. Sometimes I'll be going so hard in the gym and I feel so good about myself. And then sometimes I don't feel good about myself and I look at myself and I hate my body. So I feel like it depends. How I feel right now is I feel very confident naked. I'd take my clothes off right now and walk around. If I could, if you let me.
I mean, you can if you want. It's fine, yeah.
I'm joking. But but it changes depending on how I feel and where my mental's at.
Is there anything in particular that you do? Like when you're at home, do you spend a lot of time naked? Because I feel like the more you get used to seeing...
I spend a lot of time naked.
Do you?
I cook naked. I do everything naked. Half the time I've got an apron on and I'm on Snapchat. Like I'm just making some tacos. I'm naked under that whole apron. It's just an apron. Like if you were standing behind me, you could see everything.
I'll make sure there's not a reflection behind you. You're there like doing a video thinking it's fine and you're flashing your ass
so
at
far
everyone.
I've got away with it and someone said before, I swear you don't have a top on. Like, because you can the apron's quite... It's quite
a bit
thin at the top,
side boob.
yeah, so you can see side boob. But I could also have a little crop top on. You don't
Yeah.
know. I like to walk around naked or in my underwear.
Yeah.
But my partner's the same. We both walk around.
But does that make you feel more like comfortable in your own skin? Do you think doing that?
Yeah, I think it does, and it helped me feel a lot more comfortable walking around and just Especially when I walk around naked, I notice my partner compliments my body a lot, or she just looks at me and it makes me feel like
It just gives you one of the looks.
Yeah, it
just gives you the eyes.
Yeah, and it just gives me the energy that I want. It makes my confidence go up.
It's nice to do that. She'll be naked as soon as she gets home, everyone.
I was before I got here, actually.
Yeah, go. She drove here naked and put her clothes on behind her tinted windows and came out of the car.
I do that sometimes at the back.
What's your favourite form of intimacy that isn't sex?
We love cuddling. I love cuddling. I love like watching things and cuddling, giving each other like foot massages, like watching TV and just doing like kissing on the ear and the neck. It just makes you feel special. I love touch.
Is that your love language, physical touch?
Physical touch, and I don't know what cooking comes under.
Acts of service.
Yeah, I love acts of service, like going out the way to do things, opening your door and cooking and buying you things. I'm a person that loves to buy flowers and random cards. Just saying I love you cards.
Aww.
Just like, I'll just go gym. Like the other day I went gym and came home with flowers. There was nothing behind it. It was just, I feel like you need flowers to make you smile.
I love that.
Yeah.
People, listen to this lady and learn from her. This is how you keep things sweet in your relationship. Have you ever faked an orgasm?
Yeah, I faked an orgasm in my old relationships.
With
and
men?
No, with women.
Oh, right, okay.
And I think it was just because they were doing things that I wasn't enjoying. So I was just like, let's just get over and done with, and you just start doing it, and yeah. Now I don't need to fake it because everything we do, I enjoy. Like we talk about sex a lot, so we know what we like.
And also, it seems like you're in a relationship now where you could feed that back to someone as well.
Yeah.
But I find it quite interesting because I think like when you look at the statistics about women kind of like faking orgasms is to do with like heterosexual relationships. And actually, if you look at like the percentage in same-sex relationships of people faking it, for women, it's much lower.
Yeah. It's probably, as I keep saying, you know each other's bodies, so you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but then you faked it with women before, they didn't.
Yeah, it's just because I never used to talk about it. To me, back in the day, sex was I was quite shy to talk about it. I would never be in bed with you right now talking about it.
And here she is. What gave you that confidence?
Coming out gave me the confidence because it's like, now that you know that I'm out, I might as well say what I do in the bedroom. So now I'm pretty open about what I do.
Do you think that like helps other people? I can imagine it does, right?
Yeah, of course. I feel like coming out, loads of people like look up to me and my partner because they're like, wow, like if you can do it, I can do it. I'm so scared. Like everyone's got their story and their journey, and I'm just trying to be that person that you can look up to.
Yeah, and then also the fact that you can talk about like your sex life, because I think, there's shame attached to it. It can be embarrassing. People feel like, oh, I'm the only person that's ever experienced this, or why?
But you're not, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You feel like you are until you see someone else on the net or someone else online that has done exactly the same as you. Normalises it.
And that's why conversations are important.
Yep.
when it comes to loving your body and being confident naked, have you always been comfortable with your vulva?
I've always been comfortable with my my vagina. Like when I was younger, I used to look at pictures and I thought, yeah, my vagina is pretty, like, it's the vagina.
It's the vagina in pictures.
It's the one that you see, the model one. It's that one.
I've got a model vagina.
Yeah, like it's the one that they want. So I feel like I was always like confident. And then when I started watching, like, what's that program? When the thing comes up.
Oh, Naked Attraction.
Yeah, and then when I started watching that, I was like, yeah, that I have an amazing 10 out of 10 vagina, like the way it looks and yeah.
It's got all of the bits.
Yeah, it's all in the right place.
But I think that's important, because doesn't that come from porn? Like the idea of what the perfect vagina is, do you think?
Yeah, probably, yeah. From what I've seen, like porn stuff, that's not the perfect vagina.
She's got it here.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
She's got it. Have you ever learned, because porn is cited as the biggest tool of sex education, or where the most people learn about sex from, have you ever learned anything from porn?
To be honest, I never actually watched porn to turn me on. I'm turned on quick.
I think I've got quite a good imagination as well.
I've got an amazing imagination.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I
Great
never
imagination.
needed to watch it. My imagination is porn.
What are your red flags? Like, what would absolutely, like, turn you off someone?
Vaginal smell. Like if it's something that is constantly there and I'm not just talking on your period, so it smells, I'm like, it's just your body smell.
Yeah.
That can't work for me. I'm just really OCD. Someone that's insecure. Because I'm a very social person, so you need to understand I'm gonna be out a lot, I'm gonna be at events, I'm gonna be with girls, I'm gonna be with guys. So it's like, I can't be with someone that is like that, or someone that's very jealous. I've been in relationships and I will never do it again. So I need to be with someone that is comfortable and confident.
And what about turn-ons? What are, like, the biggest love that?
Someone that is so confident, comfortable, bubbly. There's so many things, like loving, someone that's really giving. I'm just describing my partner.
So cute when you talk about it, because you smile and your eyes go all sparkly. It's very, very cute to see you, like, so loved up. Do you think, will you guys get married? Do you believe in marriage?
Yeah, we're engaged. So we are going to get married in 2025.
Love it.
Obviously, we would do it now, but we need to save. I know weddings are very costly and we're going to do it abroad, so we need to save first. So yeah, 2025 is our year.
Are you planning on having a family together?
1,000,000% after 2025. We want to get married and then we want to start the whole, like, whatever we need to do, the IVF or whatever route we're going to go down, we're going to start after we're married.
So you've already had these conversations?
We've had these conversations and my family are all supporting everything and they're going to help us with everything. Aww. Yeah.
So cute. So cute. You're going to have little babies, little Paigeys running around. Look, it's been lovely to be in bed with you. Have you enjoyed it?
I've really enjoyed
Apart
it.
from the hair and the blanket.
Well, I've enjoyed it there. It's really comfortable in here.
It is. Look, it's been great. Should we have a little nap now?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's have a little nap.
Sleep on my front.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You've got to go face down. Don't worry, everyone, I haven't killed her. She's just having a nap.
I'm just here.
She can't lay on her head. Oh, do you snore?
No.
Okay, don't start having a 10-minute orgasm.
No, I hate... oh, that's another red flag.
What, 10-minute orgasm?
Snoring.
Oh, snoring. They can't help it.
I can't do it.